Okay, to be honest, I'm trying to talk about Bitcoin. Bitch. Sometimes you have to curse to get people's attention. But seriously, for some reason, everybody hates me when I rip money or I do Bitcoin price predictions. I'll be honest, ripping money is probably a bad thing, although I think the attention justifies what it is. But Bitcoin price predictions, not a bad thing. I don't know why people say that. It's not a bad thing at all. Personally, I think predicting the price of Bitcoin holds us accountable to try to make a decision of the direction of the market. Obviously, this is obvious. Nobody has a crystal ball and can predict it accurately, but we can try. We could try really hard and we could make up for our mistakes in the future. And ultimately, I do think this will make us more accurate. Just because I can't move a mountain does not mean I shouldn't try. Just because it's statistically unlikely that I will make a successful business doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Just because most traders fail within the first year of trying to trade anything does not mean at all that I should not try at all. That doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that they're statistically unlikely. I'm tired of the victim mindset. I'm gonna take responsibility for every variable in my life and I'm gonna just get to work and make some money. Let's make some money. How about that? Let's make some money. Where is the market going? Where is Bitcoin going? This is the question we all have to answer before we buy altcoins, guys. This is the question. This is it right here. Don't lose sight of what matters the most. I really don't care what altcoin you're holding. If Bitcoin doesn't move in a positive bullish direction, your altcoin will suffer. I pretty much guarantee that. Get out of your head and let's make some money. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I'm getting back in my groove. I feel great, so subscribe to the greatest energy on the internet. I'm not even trying to justify my price predictions. I'm just saying, I look the best. I feel the best. Maybe that's not true, but if you come over here, you can see this channel is clearly laying out the tops and bottoms for Bitcoin on a short-term time frame on the daily. So we have two potential scenarios. You can see we can come back easily to 37,000 if we wick down like we did right here and right here. But I think it's stronger to say that we'll probably bounce from where we're currently at. Personally, I'm actually comfortable buying around this range. And even if it does come down, I'll probably buy again. In both cases, it's really bullish. I want to flip the perspective a little bit and let's talk a little bit more long term, because in my personal opinion, the better way to look at anything as risky and volatile as crypto, and this specific scientific peer-reviewed paper called Multi-Scale Characteristics of the Emerging Global Cryptocurrency Market has a lot of citations and people deem this as high credibility. And if we look at the summary and conclusions, it can give us some perspective. A striking development of the cryptocurrency market in the last several years, from a small and perpetual market to a market at a level of mid-sized stock exchange capitalization, provides a unique opportunity to observe its quick structural self-organization. Availability of the high-frequency data allows one to conduct advanced statistical studies of the process governing the market evolution from its birth to the present. So they use this high-frequency data on the blockchain and conducted advanced statistical studies to come up with some very interesting conclusions. And I think it's very valuable. Also, the cryptocurrency market evolution used to show no cross-correlation with the evolution of the traditional markets. The prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other financial instruments like fiat currencies, stock indices, and commodities were uncorrelated on average. However, this suddenly changed during this year's turmoil observed on the markets that was related to COVID-19 outbursts. The major cryptocurrency prices became cross-correlated. The pandemic forced cryptocurrencies into this place where it's actually becoming mature and becoming its own financial class. Big events like wars, like these places where people are forced to adopt something just because of real practical usage and not speculation, will force cryptocurrency into an asset class. I've said this over and over again. We see this with the truckers in Canada. We see this with Ukraine donations. We see this all over. Every time there's an ultimatum event, people need cryptos. And this is powerful. This is extremely powerful. And I think everybody needs to pay attention. Bitcoin, again, is its own financial class. And it's super interesting. A principal conclusion that can be inferred from the presented results is that the cryptocurrency market has gradually been pushing its way into maturity. It is still not a fully developed market, unlike, for example, Forex, since there are significant differences between both as regards to liquidity and the number of transactions. This is scientific peer-reviewed info, guys. This is cited by a lot of people, is deemed as high credibility. This is the point I'm trying to make. Everything is true Okay. It just depends on who is saying it's true, right? So you can, develop a massive case, for example, the flat earth theory, right? You can dive really deep into flat earth. You could even probably take it to court and win a court case, concluding that the earth is flat. But what I'm saying is that we have to follow credibility, right? And this is the highest of the high credibility when it comes to scientific peer-reviewed papers. I am trying to show you guys how to identify credibility to make your long-term decisions. Bitcoin is looking bullish. Now, we could come down. That's always the case. We could go into a full-on bear run, but with the macro conditions, everything that's going on planet Earth, I don't think I could say with a straight face that we are going to drop 95%. I'm just not going to sit here and tell you that we will continue to go down when I see all of this evidence of the cryptocurrency market becoming a real market, like something that is consistent, that is not fluctuating, like the S&P 500 or whatever the case is. It's becoming real, right? So let me show you another point with this scientific peer review paper as well. Many stablecoins, including the largest stablecoin Tether, positively react to extreme negative Bitcoin returns, offering investors some protection and thus a safe haven. Although stablecoins might not fulfill the initial purpose, being a stable cryptocurrency, they benefit the market in another way by providing investors with a strong crypto safe haven against extreme volatile Bitcoin and reducing overall risk in the cryptocurrency market. Basically, the gist is there's all types of stablecoins. Some of them react actually really positive to Bitcoin dumping. And these coins will give us indication. And the most liquid stablecoin on the market, although I hate how it's created and there's a lot of controversy behind it, Tether, okay, there's a lot of controversy, it is shown as a really, really, really good indicator, predicting the direction of the Bitcoin market. So let's pay attention to what's going on here. What we're looking at is USDT dominance. So this is the dominance of USDT. Now, all the way from back in 2018, it's been on a consistent uprise. Other stablecoins are not taking dominance away from Tether. You can see it's consistently going up. And what we're looking at is the weekly chart. Now, there's been periods where Tether has lost its dominance, as you can see here and here. These periods, Bitcoin typically did very, very well. Let me explain. So if we look over here, September of 2020, we can get an exact date. October 5th, we go to Bitcoin's price, October 5th, right here. October 5th, when Tether started losing dominance, Bitcoin went parabolic and jumped significant percentages. It jumped 478%. This was like the big bull run in this recent cycle. So again, when Tether lost dominance, right, we see Tether losing dominance, October 5th, boom, Tether going down in dominance. We see a massive Bitcoin run, okay? Now let's flip the script a little bit. Let's look at when Tether gained massive dominance, right? As you can see, Tether dominance increasing. Let's look at the date, February 15, 2021. February 15th, around here, 2021, we see Bitcoin start to topple out. It wasn't immediate, so it was almost like Tether shows an indicator as it started moving up. It showed as an indicator, hey, Bitcoin's gassing out, and then we came down, and Bitcoin dropped, what? 47%, 50%, right? Also, if we look at July, right? Let's look at July, okay? Right here, July, Tether loses dominance all the way down to here. And then we see, okay, July, Bitcoin increasing in value. So, where we're currently at is this channel here. And I do think most likely we will reject off of this again, like we have 1, 2, 3. In the past, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fourth time we came down. So I do think we'll likely, maybe in the next couple of days, Bitcoin might suffer, maybe. I'm going to give you guys two cases towards the end of the video where I think Bitcoin's really going to go, but it could suffer, and I think ultimately it will reject off here and make our way down. By the way, guys, if you look at it very clearly, there's not that far of a way down, right? So Bitcoin looks like it's going to be trading sideways for a long period of time. I mean, if we get a breakthrough here, I would be surprised, very surprised. And the reason I say that is because look, Tether dominance just keeps increasing, right? So this trend is pretty strong, and I would say that it's likely that we won't break through this, but this is a lot of room here. This is a lot of room. This is Bitcoin going to 100K. I want to see Tether bounce off of this, bounce off this resistance. Maybe it might be over here, right? Bounce off resistance, and it will likely come down, and Bitcoin will have room to move. I think this is very significant, and being that Tether is the only like super liquid stablecoin, there's other stablecoins, but some of these stablecoins will actually react negative to cryptocurrency market dumps. For example, let's say you have Tether. When the market dumps, people typically sell to Tether, so you'll see the peg slightly increase, and then it'll stabilize. But other, stable coins, you'll see the price decrease as the market dumps. So Tether is just a really good indicator to look at like all the liquidity in crypto because people typically dump to Tether. Just looking at it from that perspective, all I'm looking at is USDT dominance, right? When we see the dominance, it's very interesting to cross correlate that with Bitcoin. So pay attention to that. Now let's look at some other quantitative variables because I'm getting really deep in this video. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you like this type of information, I have more time to myself, so I'm diving extremely deep and trying to figure out the market direction. We see a post here by Plan B. Some people are afraid Bitcoin might drop to realized price level of 24.5K. However, last 3 times such a capitulation happened, the causes were yellow circles. And I've said this over and over again. People think it's always quantitative and there's no other variables. People think that it's just straight numbers. And what I'm trying to explain over and over again, it's a combination of factors. You can't really predict the BSV fork with numbers. You can't predictably look at the Bitstamp exchange hack or the Mt. Gox hacks with specific numbers. I mean, you probably can identify it, but these are isolated situations that brought the market down. And what he's saying is he doesn't really see anything happening right now. Specifically, I mean, we did see an Axie Infinity hack, but that was on Ethereum. We haven't seen anything significant. Like if I saw Coinbase get hacked or FTX exchange get hacked, this might be like very, very big end of market situation. And he's just pointing out that we're not seeing anything super crazy to bring Bitcoin to these capitulation zones that we've seen in the past. So yeah, look out for big events like market destruction events, and subscribe to the channel if you want me to analyze it for you. If I see any of those, I always come out and tell people as much as I possibly can. Now, if we look at TA Analyst, this guy's cool. Basically, he's looking at a very accurate bottom detector. He's identifying when the market would change and flip bullish. And he's looking at, as you can see here, 3D PPO or percentage price oscillator. The percentage price oscillator is a technical momentum indicator that shows the relationship between 2 moving averages in percentage terms. The moving averages are a 26 period and 12 period exponential moving average or EMA. So you don't have to dive extremely deep. You could take this person's word for it. But as you can see here, as we broke to the bottom and then eventually we're breaking back up, pretty much every time there's been some type of increase in price. So you can see it right here. We have the increase in price. We can see it right here. Bitcoin went into a bull run. We can see it right here. Bitcoin went into a bull run. And then we can see it right here. Bitcoin went into a bull run. We just recently did exactly the same thing. So this is bullish, and I think it's very important to look at it for also a quantitative perspective, which is data. So pay attention to what's going on. Also, another thing I want to point out is entity adjusted dormancy flow. These are on-chain metrics. These are things that are happening all over Bitcoin. And I love on-chain metrics for this reason because it cannot really be controlled to a certain extent. It depends on how you look at it, but it's basically taking the power of Bitcoin, which is the whole public ledger. We should all know by now that Bitcoin moves on a public ledger, and all of the transactions Bitcoin has ever made, anyone's ever made on Bitcoin, is publicly identifiable. So what people do is they drop algorithms onto this and they scrape the data to try to find specific things like entity adjusted dormancy flow. Now, what is this description? Okay, entity adjusted dormancy flow is the ratio of the current market capitalization and the annualized dormancy value measured in USD. Entity-adjusted dormancy flow can be used to time market lows and assess whether the bull market remains in relatively normal conditions. It helps confirm whether Bitcoin is in a bullish or bearish primary trend. And if we come over here, you can see clearly that we have been in the undervalued zone for a long period of time. We even came to this green zone multiple times in history, and every single time we went into a full-on bull run cycle. You can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here. Now, what's interesting to note is that we've been in this green zone longer than we ever have before in Bitcoin's history. So again, another indicator showing that we're about to reverse. The trend is going to reverse to the bullish side. It just depends on when specifically is the point I'm trying to make. Here's another really interesting technical analysis perspective from Tech Dev. As you can see here, he's looking at the 3-week vortex indicator. What is the vortex indicator? A vortex indicator is an indicator composed of 2 lines, an uptrend line and a downtrend line. These lines are typically colored green and red, respectively. A vortex indicator can be used to spot trend reversals and confirm current trend. Just another indicator showing the same thing we keep seeing over and over again. We see the cross happening right here. This is bullish for Bitcoin. Another indicator I think is very interesting. Now, if we also look up short term versus long term, hodl their supply, you can clearly see for the fourth time in Bitcoin's history, we have left the blue zone. And this is from the Real Plan C. His account's been getting really popular lately, really good on-chain analysis, and I like what he does. The last 3 times this occurred on the BTC bottom was already in a massive bullish uptrend. This was what followed. I don't know how many times I have to break it down to you, but the gist is there's a lot of on-chain metrics. There's a lot of technical analysis that's pointing undervalued, right? Right now, specifically. We also look at the RSI, the relative strength index is showing that we're reversing. And then you can see the money flow index as well. So everything signaling reverse. I mean, I talked to my group, Fundamental Secrets. We looked into this pretty detailed yesterday in our live Q&A, and everybody else is bullish. I can't really find a really bad bearish case. Also, there's something very interesting as well. The third biggest address when it comes to Bitcoin rich list. So as you can literally see, most of these are exchanges, but there's one address that's like straight up not an exchange, and he's the third richest person. He just accumulated 500 BTC. He's buying. This guy's buying. So again, I mean, do you want to trade with the whales, or you want to keep following all these random people? Let's look at the credibility. I do think this is pretty bullish. Adds Dogecoin, Shiba Inu payments to mobile app. Also, if you guys didn't notice, I said that Shiba Inu was going to be accepted on Robinhood eventually. It just recently happened. If you've been following my videos, when I said Shiba Inu was going to do well, it did well. And I think it's a long-term hold. I think people are going to start buying it more on the Robinhood app. I mean, to be honest with you, Shiba Inu is probably, I think, the second or first biggest coin by percentage increase in the last year and 2 years. There has been no other coin that has increased by more percentages than Shiba Inu. So very interesting to understand. Pay attention. Retail is big in this market. You can clearly see that Robinhood needs that. They want to make money off of the trading pair Shiba Inu, so they're willing to do this. Don't sleep on meme coins. Meme coins are big. Apecoin looks big. A lot of these plays will play out positive. And as you can clearly see from the biggest percentages in the last year, it was a meme coin. And that could change, of course, but meme coins are here to stay, guys. Now, NBA is teasing Ethereum NFTs for playoffs. More credibility jumping in. I mean, the NBA is one of the biggest organizations on planet Earth. This is actually really huge. And then, of course, we have to talk about very briefly, the consumer price index is coming in at 8.5%. Before seasonal adjustment. Now, I personally believe the CPI is BS. I think it's way worse than that. I think a lot of people can agree to that with credibility. But even 8.5% is really bad. So for all investors, all smart money on planet Earth, they're all trying to figure out what to do. And no matter how many times I look at it from an unbiased perspective and try to identify any investment that's better than crypto, I cannot find anything better than crypto. So let me kind of just hit this home for you guys so I can give you some specifics of what I'm feeling right now. Now, personally, I'm not buying Bitcoin. I've said this 1,000 times. I think that there's other opportunities to make more money, but I do analyze the heck out of Bitcoin to make sure it's bullish so other altcoins can move. There's really only 2 situations in my eyes. I don't think any other will happen. Now, there's certain people saying that we could break down here and then, make our way to 25K or whatever the case is. I personally do not believe that will happen. I think the worst possible case that could happen right now is if we break down right here to about $37,000 BTC and then make our way up eventually, or we can make our way up right now. What I think is more likely is us making our way up right now specifically. But we did, in previous history, wick down, as you can see here, and here, and what I'm looking at is a daily, we did wick down to the zone, so that could happen again. And with the rate hikes coming out, from the Federal Reserve, this might actually happen. It could happen here, but I'm comfortable to buy here and here. I don't care either way. And you guys know the altcoins I'm buying. If not, I'll be making an altcoin video very soon. So pay attention. It's probably going to be one of the deepest altcoin videos I ever made. I'm getting back to like my hour-long videos. I don't know if you guys remember, I was doing the greatest fundamental analysis in the world. Now that I've moved away from my office, I have less employees. It's given me so much more time to dive extremely deep into these projects. I'm actually feel happy that I'm getting back to my old research principles, being able to provide you guys with the best fundamental analysis in all of cryptocurrency. And I do believe this is true. But as you can see here, again, 2 scenarios, very simply put. We could break down over here to 37,000, or we could make our way up right now. Either way, I feel comfortable buying altcoins now. And if we break down to 37,000 with a smart dollar cost average strategy, you can go very long. Now, there's people in my group doing the short-term trading thing, and I think you could do both. But personally, with my time commitment to crypto and what I do, I prefer a longer swing trade type of mentality. Leave a comment below if that's the type of investor you are. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.